Hey guys, I've been getting requests to do a top to bottom overview of the world's loudest electric vehicle. This is a 2015 Fiat 500 electric. I've had this since about 2017. This is my fifth build in it. And I'm measuring, last time I measured on the meter, it was almost 163 decibels before I made all these changes. So now I'm assuming I'm closer to 165. I'll meter it soon, but let me give you a quick breakdown of everything. All right, so starting at the back, the power plant. We have two STSM high voltage amplifiers. They're both rated at 192,000 watts at 0.25 ohms. I'm running them at 400 volts when the battery's fully charged, and I'm only putting out about 20,000 watts RMS to each because my subwoofers cannot take more. Yes, you're at very low power, the gain is low, everything is low because they could put out a lot more than I'm using them for, but that's what they're rated at. I have a lot of bifurcation between the high voltage side of the car, the 400 volt and the 12 volt. That's what all this circuitry here is. It allows me to turn on the thermistor, which allows me to pre-charge the capacitors and not blow anything because that 400 volts of inrush would explode components. I have additional relays and additional circuit breakers at the back, circuit breakers at the front, additional fuses throughout the car, all for the high voltage side. On the bifurcation side, I have a little 12 volt battery here. It allows me to run all the 12 volt circuitry of the amplifiers without, again, going into the 12 volts of the car. Otherwise, we would create a ground loop and there's a 400 volt potential. We don't want that. I'm using the best low frequency isolator you can use. It's basically a transformer that allows me to pass the base signal into these amplifiers, again, without the ground loop through the RCA. LF Audio high voltage, high precision voltmeter. Monitor everything back here. JL Audio 808 for my mids and my highs, and then a JFA line driver. So I can drive up to 15 volts, positive 15 volts, negative 30 volt peak to peak onto the RCA input of that. And that's kind of the power plant back here. Inside the car, we have a little bit more power. We have two DD Audio SS2000, super small 2000s. These are for the 10 inches in the doors. And we have the Jag 35. This is the lithium battery for additional 12 volt capacity. Subwoofers, DD Audio Z415s, dual 2s. In the doors, we have the DD Audio voice optimized 10-inch mid-bass. These are crossed 40 hertz to 500 hertz. We have the DD Audio voice optimized 6.5s, and then the AT28As from DD Audio. In the coaxials, we have the JL Audio coaxials 3.5-inch, the ZR series. We have the wireless temperature meter or temperature hub from LF Audio high performance voltmeter here. In the roof, we're extending the box to reach the appropriate amount of airspace by building it out of fiberglass. So the port is no longer in the middle of the car. It runs through the ceiling up in here. And this is the port, again, optimized for the subwoofers. All of this is metal pole, lots of wood, about 3 layers of birch. This entire door is filled with epoxy. Very, very hard. Everything in here latches. So when the window is up, you get latched in there and all that energy is kept inside of the cabin. Finally, this is the entire control center. It allows me to remotely power the thermistor circuit, power the amplifier circuit, power everything on safely, and turn on the high voltage from here. If anything happens, I could turn it off. And I also have a backup rear view mirror that allows me to drive safely because I do not have a rear view mirror. So this is a top to bottom overview of the loudest electric car, the Loud Fiat. Thank you.